Have you ever loved someone so deeply that they became the center of your world? Yet somewhere inside, you began to feel empty, anxious, and afraid of losing them? Have you ever worked tirelessly for success, believing that once you achieve it, everything will finally feel peaceful, only to realize that the closer you get, the more restless your mind becomes? Why does this happen? Why is it that the more tightly we try to hold on to people, outcomes, and desires, the more they seem to slip away from our hands? This silent struggle is something many of us go through, yet we rarely pause to understand it. We are taught to chase, to hold, to control, but not to let go. And in this constant effort to control life, we unknowingly create inner tension, fear, and emotional exhaustion. According to the gentle and profound wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda, true peace does not come from possessing or controlling anything outside of us. It comes from a deeper inner state, a calm detachment that allows us to love fully, act sincerely, and yet remain peaceful within. This is not about giving up on life or becoming distant. It is about discovering a powerful balance where you can care deeply without losing yourself, where you can pursue success without becoming restless, and where you can experience love without fear. Today, let us begin a quiet journey inward to understand the subtle art of detachment, a wisdom that can transform the way you live, love, and experience life itself. Most people never realize that the real problem is not outside them. It is quietly growing within. We are taught from a young age that love means holding on tightly, that if you truly care about someone, you must not let them go. We are told that success comes only when you constantly chase it, push harder, think more, and never stop. At first, this seems right, it even feels natural. But slowly, something begins to change inside. What once felt like love turns into fear of losing. What once felt like ambition turns into pressure and restlessness. You may find yourself checking your phone again and again, waiting for a message that doesn't come. You may replay conversations in your mind, wondering if you said something wrong. You may achieve something important, yet instead of peace, you feel an emptiness that you cannot explain. This is the hidden problem. Attachment disguised as love, and control disguised as effort. It creates a constant inner tension, where your happiness depends on something outside of you. And when that something feels uncertain, your mind becomes restless. According to the deeper insights shared by Paramahansa Yogananda, this kind of attachment pulls us away from our natural state of calmness and clarity. It binds us to fear, expectation, and emotional dependency. The more we try to hold everything together, the more fragile everything begins to feel. And without even noticing, we start losing the most important connection of all, the connection with our own inner peace. This happens because what we often call love is not truly love. It is attachment shaped by fear and uncertainty. Deep within the mind, there is a subtle belief that says, I am not complete on my own. I need something or someone to feel whole. From this belief, attachment begins to grow. We start depending on people, outcomes, and situations to maintain our happiness. And the moment our happiness depends on something outside, the mind naturally becomes anxious, because it knows that everything in life can change. This is where restlessness begins. Psychologically, the mind seeks control to feel safe. It overthinks, predicts, and tries to manage every possible outcome. But life does not move according to our control, and this creates a constant inner conflict between how things are and how we want them to be. Spiritually, as explained through the gentle wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda, this attachment pulls our awareness away from our true nature, the peaceful, complete self that exists beyond temporary experiences. Instead of living from a place of inner fullness, we begin to live from a place of lack. We start saying, I will be happy when this happens, or I will feel peaceful when things go my way. In doing so, we postpone our peace and give our power away. The truth is, attachment is not a sign of deep connection. It is a sign that we have forgotten our own inner stability. And until we reconnect with that inner center, the mind will continue to move between hope and fear, never fully at rest. Have you ever wondered why certain experiences keep repeating in your life, even when you truly want things to change? You may promise yourself that this time will be different, yet somehow, you find yourself in the same emotional situations again. The same kind of relationships that bring confusion, the same patterns of overthinking, the same feeling of being unfulfilled even after achieving something you once desired. This is where the deeper role of inner patterns and what we often call karma begins to reveal itself. Karma is not punishment. It is simply the echo of our past thoughts, emotions, and actions shaping our present experiences. Every time we react with fear, cling with insecurity, or seek validation outside, we strengthen a pattern within the mind. Over time, these patterns become automatic, quietly guiding our choices without us even realizing it. According to the deeper teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, these repeated cycles continue until we become aware of them. For example, if there is a deep fear of being abandoned, you may unknowingly hold on too tightly in relationships, which can create pressure and distance, eventually leading to the very outcome you feared. If there is a need for constant approval, you may chase success endlessly, but never feel truly satisfied. In this way, life becomes a mirror, reflecting our inner state back to us again and again. Detachment, then, is not about avoiding life. It is about becoming conscious of these patterns and gently freeing yourself from them. When you stop reacting unconsciously, when you begin to observe instead of control, the cycle slowly starts to break. And in that awareness, a new way of living begins to emerge. One that is no longer driven by past conditioning, but guided by clarity, balance, and inner freedom. You can begin to recognize the need for detachment not through theory, but through the small, honest moments of your daily life. It shows up when your mind refuses to stay quiet, when a simple situation keeps replaying again and again in your thoughts. You may notice how your mood changes depending on how someone speaks to you, how quickly your peace is disturbed when things do not go as expected. There are moments when you feel overly affected by a delayed message, a slight change in tone, or an uncertain outcome. You may find it difficult to let go of past experiences, carrying old conversations and emotional pain like a weight within you. Sometimes, even while achieving something important, there is a subtle anxiety about what comes next, as if peace can never fully settle. In these moments, life gently reveals how deeply the mind is trying to hold, control, and seek reassurance. A simple example can be seen when you hold sand in your hand. The tighter you close your fist, the faster it slips away. But when your hand remains open and relaxed, the sand rests naturally without effort. In the same way, when you try to control every detail of life, relationships begin to feel heavy, and situations become more stressful than they need to be. According to the quiet wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda, awareness of these patterns is the first step toward freedom. These signs are not failures. They are gentle signals guiding you inward, inviting you to discover a calmer, more balanced way of living where peace is not dependent on circumstances, but arises from within. Healing begins the moment you stop fighting your inner experience and start understanding it with patience and awareness. Detachment is not about pushing people away or becoming emotionally distant. It is about learning to stay centered within yourself while fully participating in life. It is a quiet shift from reacting unconsciously to responding with clarity. You can begin by simply pausing when emotions arise. Instead of immediately reacting, take a gentle step back and observe what you are feeling. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? In that small pause, space is created, and within that space, wisdom begins to emerge. Gradually, You can shift from trying to control every outcome to trusting the natural flow of life. Do your best with sincerity, but release the constant need for things to happen in a particular way. This reduces the pressure within and allows your mind to relax. Another important step is to practice loving without expectation. Care deeply, be kind, be present. But do not tie your happiness to how others respond. This creates a pure form of connection that is free from fear. Spending a few moments in silence each day, through simple meditation or mindful breathing, can also help you reconnect with your inner stability. As taught through the gentle guidance of Paramahansa Yogananda, true strength lies in inner balance, not external control. Slowly, as you remind yourself, I am complete as I am, a deep sense of peace begins to grow. The mind becomes lighter, reactions become softer, and life no longer feels like something to control, but something to experience with calm awareness and quiet trust. At the deepest level, detachment is not a practice you force. It is an awakening you begin to feel. It is the quiet realization that you were never meant to depend on anything outside to feel complete. All along, what you were searching for in people, in success, in outcomes, was already present within you as a calm, steady awareness. When this understanding begins to arise, something inside you softens. The constant need to control slowly fades, and in its place comes a gentle trust in life. You still love, but your love is no longer filled with fear. You still work and grow, but your actions are no longer driven by restlessness. There is a natural ease, a sense of flowing with life instead of struggling against it. According to the deeper spiritual insight shared by Paramahansa Yogananda, the soul is already whole, already peaceful, already fulfilled. The suffering begins only when we forget this truth and start seeking completion in temporary things. Detachment brings you back to this inner wholeness. It allows you to experience life fully, yet remain untouched at your core. In this state, even challenges do not disturb you in the same way, because you are no longer identifying with every passing situation. You become a witness, calm and aware, grounded in something deeper than circumstances. And from this space, something beautiful begins to happen. Love flows more freely, decisions become clearer, and success comes with a sense of peace rather than pressure. This is the true awakening, not escaping life, but living it with a heart that is open, a mind that is still, and a soul that knows it is already complete. As we come to the end of this gentle reflection, take a quiet moment for yourself and ask honestly within, am I holding on out of love or out of fear? This simple question can open a deeper understanding of your life. Because sometimes, what we try so hard to control is exactly what is creating our inner restlessness. And sometimes, what we are afraid to release is the very thing that can set us free. The wisdom shared by Paramahansa Yogananda reminds us that true peace is not found in holding tightly, but in learning to trust, to allow, and to remain centered within. So from today, try just a small step, pause, breathe, and gently loosen your grip on things you cannot control. Life has a beautiful way of unfolding when you stop forcing it. What is meant for you will stay, and what leaves is creating space for something better aligned with your growth. If this message touched your heart even a little, you can support this journey by subscribing to the channel, sharing this video with someone who may need this peace, and becoming a part of this growing community of awareness. I would truly love to hear from you. What part of this message resonated most with you? And what kind of videos would you like to see next on this channel? Your thoughts and experiences are valuable, and they help shape future content that can serve you better. Until we meet again, stay calm, stay aware, and keep walking your path with quiet strength and trust. Jai Gurudev.